Hello everyone, welcome back to the Through the Window podcast with me, Ben, Max and Joss. Today you are looking at us through the Tesla Model 3 long-range windscreen almost.
Yes, you are.
And that is the window of today.
That is the window of today.
It's an exciting podcast, boys, isn't it?
Yes.
We're in a car.
It feels weird.
Yes.
For those of you listening, I guess, Ben, do you want to introduce why we are sat inside a Tesla?
Yeah, so this is our, third tech podcast, Joss?
That's correct.
Third tech podcast, and we thought, we like Teslas. We now have a Tesla at our disposal. Let's do one in the car. Let's copy MKHB, and that's not his name, is it?
You missed out a couple of letters, but that's all good.
What is it?
MKBHD.
MKBHD.
Nice.
We're going to copy MKBHDB and do a Tesla-inspired podcast where we're going to talk about this very car, how it came to be, all the specs, all the monies, and what we think of it so far. I'll start with you, Max. What are your initial thoughts of this car?
This car is unlike any other car I think I've ever been in.
Mm-hmm.
Because of one simple fact that there is just nothing in it. Like, it's very, very minimalist. The car is literally just seats, a steering wheel, and then a big screen in front of you. Everything is condensed into that one screen, which I thought originally, when I found out that that's how it sort of ran, I thought that might provide some issues, but it's actually a lot more intuitive than I thought it was going to be. And it actually makes this place quite a calm place to be, I find. Like when we were driving it back the other day, it is just such a relaxing place to be. I don't know if that's because of the wood on the interior.
Could be the wood.
And, the relaxing properties that holds. But, yeah, I really, really like it. I think it is beautifully designed and a promising thing for the future, I suppose.
Agreed. I guess for me, it's similar to Max. It's just everything in the car makes sense. Everything is where it feels like it should be. Like Max said, there's no clutter, there's no gross dash in the middle where you've got all these horrible clunky plastic buttons. All the bits that you want to use are on that middle screen, and your only other physical buttons are like the volume control on the steering wheel and your hazard button, because I think that's a legal requirement. But apart from that...
Where's the hazard button?
It's above your rearview mirror.
Oh, fuck, I didn't know that was there. I was thinking the other day, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I just might have to get into an accident to turn it on.
Doesn't break down, mate. It's Tesla.
Yeah.
It's Tesla.
Just takes off.
Yeah, it's a very nice place to be, especially in the front, especially in the driver's seat. You have like all this at your disposal. It's all kind of cured and made for your driving experience. The finish is really nice. It's not a cheap interior at all. The steering wheel is lovely, heated steering wheel, heated seats all round, so it's a very comfortable ride. And then obviously, like, we'll get into what it's like to drive later on, but it's fucking astronomically quick. To go back to your point, Joss, I guess we were looking at electric cars a few months ago, like mid-September, and originally I was looking at the ID3, the Volkswagen ID3, which I loved. My partner Amber, however, did not love an ID3. She did not like the look of them. She didn't think they looked cool. And, she's someone who has 2 degrees in, arguably something fairly design-related, and she didn't like the cars.
Can't really argue with that,
I mean,
can
what?
you?
Yeah, but what the fuck does she know, Like, I shouldn't say that because I love her, but equally, look, we can all agree in this car, the ID3 is a fucking good-looking car.
Yeah, agreed.
She's wrong. Yeah. Cool.
Sorry, Amber.
Sorry, Amber.
As we started looking at those, and then we just chanced had a look at Tesla leasing, just what the difference would be, and it wasn't that different. It was not that different, and that's before you even start applying discounts to it, which would have made it even closer. So I then decided, if you haven't seen the video, go watch the video. It's going to explain it in like a very visually impactful way. And then I went to test drive one with Amber, went down to Bristol Crips Causeway. They only had the Model 3 Performance to give us at the time, which was a shame.
Such a shame.
Definitely a marketing ploy. Definitely a way to get you hooked on it.
You know what? If it was a marketing ploy, it fucking worked, didn't it? Because I drove that, and that was ludicrous, like a roller coaster. And then as soon as I got back, I just ordered it. And I think anyone in this car, if they had gone through what I went through, they would have done the exact same thing.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now you boys sitting in this car, you can appreciate. When I came back flustered because we went out for drinks in Bath straight after, and when I came back and met you in Bath and I was all flustered, what did you guys think? I was lost for words almost, wasn't I?
I think when you came back and you were like describing it, I knew I didn't really want to accept it because there was a small part of me that was like, "There's no way he's just got a Tesla, like no way." But there was a small part of me that was like, as you said, going and test driving something like that, it's a very slim chance that you're going to have that much fun and then not want to get one. But no, I think you were like flustered, rightly so, because the speed in this, as we'll go on to later, is like nothing I've ever experienced.
Yeah.
What about you, Josh?
It's just I can't even put it into words after I've sat in it a few times now. It blows my mind. But yeah, when we were in Bath that time, I just thought, no way has he actually gone and done it.
Did you guys not believe me then?
I don't know.
Because I chat shit all the time.
Yeah, but
Max is like, yes.
I think it's only you could be like. Bearing in mind, this happened very quickly.
It did,
like very, very quickly. It was like a couple of conversations. Obviously, I know like you worked it all out, and it just sort of happened to all make complete sense. But from my perspective, it was a couple of conversations here and there, and then I'm just going to go test drive this weekend, and then I met you in Bath, and I've ordered one. You are the only person I know that could like impulse buy a Tesla, but I know that it was obviously. We all know that it wasn't impulse, and it actually is very convenient, and it works out 100%. But you are the only person I know that would come to that conclusion so quickly, and then get it delivered in record speed, which you now can't do.
Yeah, that was I'm very, very lucky to get it delivered within I think it was 6.5 weeks from order. And if you go on the website now, you're looking at May, and it's December the 17th now, so it's currently a 5-month wait for the same model, which is astronomical.
It's like the stars aligned for you, mate.
I think so. And, I completely agree with you when you say like an impulse buy. It's just the fact that all the research I did into it, it just all made so much sense. I was thinking like, fucking hell, I should have done this a year ago, let alone now.
Yeah.
Was there an element of like, because I know when we went to pick it up, you were saying like, I'm just waiting for something to go wrong.
Yeah.
Was there an element of like, when you were looking, because I've looked at like leasing cars and looking into electric cars and something like that, and I'm sort of looking, almost knowing that I'm going to find something that's like, no, I can't do it.
Yeah.
Were you in that process? Were you kind of looking for that one thing on Tesla's website that was like, I was right. This is ridiculous. I can't do it.
For the longest time, I was, and then I kind of just after I ordered it, I just accepted the fact that. I had to trust myself that I'd done the research and there wasn't anything hiding. But when we were going down in the van in the morning, like you vlogged me, and I wasn't excited because all I could think was, have I done something wrong? Have I missed a clause where it's like you need to put 10 grand deposit down, or the interest rate's like 40%, or something stupid, something I've overlooked that doesn't make this deal as attractive as I first thought? And that's what I was really worried about, because it was coming to crunch time. I was picking the car up, and at that point you can't back out the lease. But no, it turns out, luckily, I mean, we may still find out. I've only had it 2 days, But yeah, apart from that, it's been fine, and the offer is as ludicrous. I got to stop saying ludicrous because I sound like a proper Tesla fanboy now. Yeah. And the deal was as good as it was made out to be, especially if you're a business owner. I mean, if you work for a company that's willing to do it, it's really cheap. But if you own the company, it's even cheaper because you save money both for your company and for yourself. So, yeah, it was really fun. The process was really, really, really easy. Like the fact you can go on, it's like ordering IKEA furniture. You just go on, you select the car, build all the little tools that you want with it, and then you just order, and it's like, okay, it'll be with you in 8 weeks. A 50 grand car. It's like, be with you in 8 weeks. No credit check or any of that shit. They just let you order it.
The funny bit was when we'd just be sat in the office, I would all be working, and then all of a sudden it'd be like, guys, Tesla emailed. Tesla emailed. Oh no, they haven't given me a delivery date. Oh. It was literally
something to suck you back in, just to remind you.
Every other week it was just like, oh, it's an update. Oh no, it's not, don't worry. No, false alarm. It's like,
the worst part about ordering this car, and I did not expect this to happen, is after I ordered it, I became so after like I spoke to Dan and said I want to do this. Obviously me and Dan had a conversation because he owns half the company, and we worked out like what would get out of the deal. And after that was all squared off, and we ordered it, and I was like, it got to the first night, and I was like, I can't sleep. All I'm thinking about is driving a Tesla. And the next night, same thing happened. 3 nights in a row, I was like, fucking hell, I'm now losing sleep. This is becoming a negative impact on my life. Because all I'm thinking about is a fucking car. And then slowly the anticipation and the excitement drifted away. And then when I got the delivery date text come through, it was like 15th of December, and then we got that like halfway through November.
Yeah.
I had like 2 or 3 nights where I couldn't sleep again. It was like, fuck, I need to stop thinking about this car. Because as soon as I ordered it, I always went on YouTube and watched every fucking video about Model 3s there was to watch.
Yeah, you revised a lot.
To the point where you think, I think I know more about the car than the person who sold it to me. Do you know what I mean?
It's always that, like, I've had it before when we go to, like, I go to, like, Apple stores or something like that, and I go in with the intention to buy something. And then the person behind the desk, or the genius person that comes over and starts telling me about it, it's like, no, I know all of this. Like, don't worry. Like, I could recite it back to you if you want it. Like, I'll teach you about it.
Mate, there's a scene in
It's
Parks.
like, you don't have to sell me on it. It's fine.
There's a scene in Parks and Recs where like this fucking like middle-aged man who's like a proper manly man walks into like B&Q, and someone stops him. It's like, "Can I help you today, sir?" And he just looks at me and goes, "I know more than you." It's the funniest scene. But yeah, that's how researched it was. It was like, so easy just to get so consumed by this world because the tech is so interesting. And like it's like it has so many things going for it. The fact is, it looks sick. It's really fucking fast. It's got self-driving capabilities as standard. The interior is really nice. And it's really efficient, and it's electric. So it's like tax exempt on loads of things. There's no road tax. There's so much about it that's like so interesting. And to dig into those things is like, it's just baffling. It's baffling that it's baffling that the cars like this can be, the base price for this car is 50 grand, right? But the amount we're paying for it in comparison is fucking negligible. We'd pay more for a Mercedes half the cost if it's combustion engine. Like if you bought like a 28 grand Mercedes, it would cost you more because you don't get the tax savings.
Wow,
that's insane.
Isn't that insane?
Yeah,
that's ridiculous.
It's like the incentives are that good for it.
I think the coolest thing about this whole process is like when I started nearly 2 years ago, me and you would talk, Ben, about Tesla and like, oh, they're such a cool company. They're doing such amazing things, even just as like the bottom line of like car tech. But the company does so much else. But we would just talk about and be like, oh, one day we'll get there. And then 18 months later, nearly 2 years, you've got the Tesla. You've figured it out. Like all the maths is right. There's nothing that's
I hope
coming to bite you in the arse. Hopefully, but yeah, it's here. And it's like, it's just so sick that it's all come to fruition so quickly.
It feels like a dream still, mate, if I'm honest, because it's there. It's just like one of those things. It's one of those things you think, if I do really well for a long time, maybe I'll get to like drive the Tesla Model 2, or I'll get to own one, the cheaper version of this. And then just like the idea of, you're actually doing well enough to get this early on. It's just testament to, I guess, the hard work and everything we put into the business. And equally with you two, like, the option for electric car in the near future is not difficult to imagine. I don't think, like, it's fucking, because of how much the government are pushing it, a salary sacrifice for electric car will work out so beneficial to the both of you and anyone else being on in the future.
Yeah, because
the tax savings are just ridiculous. They are literally ridiculous because they know that if they don't, they have to push it.
Yeah.
And that's the one benefit of the world fucking the what's it called when the planet heats up?
Global warming.
Thank you, Max.
Come on.
That's the one silver lining of global warming happening so fast and politicians acting so late is they have to now rush shit like this through.
Yeah. That's a very good point.
They could have just made electric cars like 30 years ago and they wouldn't have been as attractive or as many tax cuts, whereas now it's like, oh fuck, we're fucking everything up.
Yeah.
Get diesel out of the way.
I just couldn't believe like how this is technically the base model and base car that Tesla make. Sorry to spat everywhere in your brand new Tesla. And as you said, the attention to detail, the finish, the just, this is not a. I thought when it first came out that it wouldn't be as nice as this.
Agreed.
Because it was advertised or widely advertised on YouTube, where I saw it as this is the entry level Tesla for the masses, and it is so nice.
Yeah,
it is so nice. It makes me really interested to see where Tesla goes with their true consumer friendly car.
The Model 2-esque one, that the mini one they bring out like in 2 years.
Yeah. Because if it's a blend, to be fair, if it's anywhere near this, then it's going to be insane.
The thing is, I can't see why the interior would be much different to this. It makes sense just to go for a similar interior.
Surely this would cost
it would be the same
in manufacturing costs.
Yeah,
this mustn't cost that much.
I think because the scale they're making it at. All they would do for the Model 2 is just make a smaller cabin of this.
Yeah.
The batteries, I guess, would be maybe the same size, maybe smaller. The motors would be the same. All they're really doing is changing the chassis size and the size of the car. But they have to build a separate factory for that. But yeah, the tech is exactly... They haven't got to redesign the wheel like they have done.
Yeah.
The Model 3 is just a rewire of the Model S. If you think about it.
I suppose they've done the hard work now.
Yeah, they've done the hard work. They've made a car that they've been successful with smaller, and that was the Model 3. They just got to do it again now.
I just find it so interesting that they can't pump cars out fast enough.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's the only reason. Well, that's the only reason why I'm sure a lot of people don't get them.
Now you've been in it and you've seen the speed and the interior and all the nice things that come with the car. Do you get the hype? Is it better question. Do you think they're overhyped?
No.
Now you've been in it.
I don't think Tesla is overhyped. No.
Max?
I completely understand the hype. I completely understand it, and I think it's just. I think it makes complete sense because I have never, I've been in fast cars before, but I've never been in a car that is this isn't exactly a common car, but it's not common. It's not really, really rare. You see them quite a lot.
Yes.
But I've never been in a car that's so widely accessible, that is so quick off the line, and is as luxurious, for lack of a better word, but just an everyday car. You can't get that.
Yeah, it's an everyday driver that can beat most Porsches off the line.
Yeah, and I think there is something to be said about Tesla really created something special with this. I feel like, or with just their cars in general. You're getting a lot of cars now, and it's a rebranded something of something. In a Skoda, it's an Audi, or in do you know what I mean? There's a large crossover between combustion engine cars. This, I think, is one of the first cars that I've got into and gone, this is new.
Yeah,
I've never seen this before.
And the sick thing about that, and we've said this before, if Tesla weren't around, I think electric cars would be so far behind. There wouldn't be this massive push from other manufacturers. But I hope that we see more interiors like this as well.
Yeah,
and the actual shape and build of the car is just more like this, because who wants a car that's got all these bells and whistles here, there, and everywhere?
Buttons and
who cares for that? You just want it to all be simple, serve its purpose, and it's bloody good at it.
Yeah,
and that's all you want at the end of the day.
They've made those interiors. Tesla's made those interiors of all the other cars with buttons and stuff feel inferior now.
Yeah,
or just feel illogical.
Yeah, 100%. It's you just don't need it.
Yeah. This feels like going from a mobile phone where you have all the buttons to an iPhone.
Yeah.
And you're just it's a touchscreen. I can access anything. It's got a keyboard, whatever I want.
Yeah.
It's that transition, isn't it? Of oh my God, I can... Not only can this be a phone, but it's also like a small TV. When you get your first iPhone.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what the tablet is. It's just a small TV in the car.
Yeah. I think one thing I do really appreciate about this car as well is that, the Model 3, as I said, is their entry-level car at the moment. They could quite easily have made it, a much more passive shape, a much more, normal-looking car, so that it might be more widely adopted.
Mm-hmm.
But they've made it look like a missile. And I love that they're, that they've because usually you only get that in 80, 90 grand cars. I find you don't get cars that look like this for this money and perform like this for this money. And I really like that they are taking the design choices but bringing them down as well, so that more people can get involved with it. Because, like, I mean, for those that you can't see, but there's a picture of the car on the screen, and I've just been staring at it the whole time. It just looks so good.
Yeah.
It's such a good looking car.
Like, you cannot finance a car like that for the same monthly cost, and it
No.
look better than that.
It would be at least triple the cost if you were to do a personal lease. If you did a personal lease, it would be at least triple the cost.
Wow.
It's astronomical.
The sick thing is, like, I think the Tesla, it looks very Porsche from the front, and the rest of the car kind of looks very like Audi A3, A4 kind of style, but it does 0 to 60 in like 4.4 seconds.
But it feels like for 8.
It's a family car, but you're getting the performance and luxury of a 90 grand car.
Yeah.
And you can take the kids to school in this, and you can do a road trip to Scotland.
Yeah.
No problem.
The nice thing is about it, actually, because Amber drives it, and she's like not as much of a speed demon as me, as I imagine your girlfriends and you would be the same split. So she puts it in like chill mode in the acceleration, and I've like driven it in that, and it just feels a bit boring in comparison.
It's normal.
It's probably still like 0 to 60 in like 6 seconds or 5 seconds. Still fast, but not like gargantuanly fast.
Yeah.
But for her, she loves it, and it's nice that she hasn't got to get in a car and like be really timid with the driving to not send it. She can still drive it like a normal car and not worry about fucking teleporting 4,000 miles up the road just because your fucking foot twitched. And that split's nice. But mate, to go back to your design, I've read this somewhere online. The Model 3 is the most aerodynamic car ever made. So the way it looks, if you like the looks, what they've done is just tried to make it as aerodynamic as possible.
So why?
So that's what Air intended a car to look like.
That's what hurts me, because you look at like a Renault Scenic. And it's like, why? What logical decision was in that design process? Like, it makes no sense.
Driving it in no air gravity tunnel or something.
It's like, what?
I'd love to know the stats of like all this work they put into like how aerodynamic it is, and especially like the alloys. Those are meant to add, like, is it like 10 miles per charge or something like that?
It's quite ridiculous. I think it's like a 3% range increase just by having hubcaps on.
I'd love to know like what the battery in this car could do if it was the shape of a Ford Fiesta or something bland. Like, what does that actually look like on paper? Because I bet it's insane.
Yeah.
If we can find that stat, we'll insert it now.
The one thing I quite like...
It's not going to be available.
I was thinking the other day, like, obviously, you know, putting the video out... Wait, will the video be out by... Yeah. So putting the video out and stuff like that, you know, you didn't end up going for the sport, the performance, the performance one. And I've seen comments online when other people have got this sort of car, or the lower end one, and they say, "Oh, you should have got this." You know, everyone online's always got, "Oh, you should have done this," or "You should have got this." And the number is different. What's the
0 to 60 is 3.1 seconds compared to 4.4. So
right.
0 to 30, it's like twice as quick, but after that, it's the same speed.
But like, basically, the point I'm trying to get at is people will say, "Oh yeah, you should have got the ludicrous one. You should have got that one. 3.3 seconds is way quicker. 3.1 seconds is way quicker. You should have done that." Get in a car and go from 0 to 60 in 4.4 seconds and tell me it's not still mental.
Yeah.
And fun.
Yeah.
Like, I think we had this conversation either earlier or a couple of days ago. At what point is it too quick? At what point is it ridiculous?
I felt when I drove the Model 3 Performance, mate, that was too quick. I thought, fucking hell, if you put a 19-year-old in this car, they're going to kill people.
Yeah.
It's like you can get up to a stupid amount of speed way too quickly. And all you need to do is like press the accelerator instead of the brake by accident, and you've gone through like 4 houses. Yeah. And it's just it scared me.
Yeah, I bet.
Driving that car, the performance car. I thought, what on earth is going on? Is this car broken? Is it supposed to be this quick?
And the Roadster's like what, 1.9?
Yeah. So that the Roadster's 30% faster than the performance one.
That's insane,
outrageous.
isn't it?
Yeah. It's like I can't. You can't even comprehend it.
I see all these comments of people being like, "Oh yeah, you should get the ludicrous one. Like, you should have got the ludicrous one. It's way better being able to go 0 to 60 in 1.9 seconds." But it's like going at 5 seconds is like a roller coaster.
Yeah,
it's just for the difference in cost.
No, the performance is really cool, and if you just want pure speed, go for it. But the long range gives you a longer range. Obviously, that's why it's called the long range. But it's I just I was only going to go for the base model anyway because I didn't want the price to be too high. I just wanted to kind of have something that was going to be. I just wanted to get. I was already going from the ID3 to a Tesla. I thought, don't be a fucking idiot, Ben, and just spend loads of money on a car that you don't really need. Just And then they had the deal for the long range. I thought, okay, I will upgrade to that. But the performance was still like, to go from the base Model 3 to the long range was like $6,000 more. But to go from the base to the performance, it was like $20,000 more. And it just wasn't worth it just so I could absolutely annihilate my driving license.
Yeah.
Because that's what would happen. I would guarantee I would have got a speeding ticket. And
as would most people. Sorry for the pause in speech. There's someone nearly reversing into one of the cameras we've got outside the car.
Oh, God.
We've probably got enough exterior footage, Josh, do you reckon?
I think we probably do.
Should I go bring it in? We'll just skip this.
Okay.
Just to be safe.
Yes, sir.
Josh, you are
A man.
You're probably, I'd say, like Ben, very, very into electric cars. And, you also have the aspiration to one day own an electric car.
Yes, sir.
Do you think this purchase and experiencing it, obviously I know you've experienced electric cars before, do you think this gives you that extra nudge to maybe look into it?
100%. Definitely. As you boys know, I've looked at the ID3 for a while. I've been interested in electric cars for a long time as well, but I guess we've only really understood the business lease ideas for a couple of months, if that. So it's kind of opened a whole new world of actually being able to drive one, which is really, really exciting. But yeah, seeing Ben drive this around and just explain like, I just plugged my car in when I got home and left it on charge overnight. That's awesome. That's so sick. I guess for me, it comes more from I guess my interest in it stemmed from like a sustainability point of view to start with, which I guess is the main reason you want to go electric, but all these byproducts of it being a fucking sick car and it's much cheaper to run and it's fast, they're all just amazing byproducts.
Bonuses, awesome bonuses to go with it,
yeah,
aren't
they're
they?
just great bonuses.
Yeah.
But yeah, if anything, it just complicates things. I would love a Tesla.
Yeah, I mean, you're bound to feel like that, though. You're bound to think that.
I mean, I think everyone that's got in this car has thought that, haven't they?
Yeah.
Totally.
It annoys me that you got the base spec and it looks so good because now I want this spec, but I can't get it because you've got it, which means now that in X years when I can finally start looking at a Tesla, I'm going to have to spend the extra $1,000 to get it in a different colour.
Unless I've written this off by then.
Touch wood.
Well, what would you have got differently then if you were to order it? Would you have gotten the white leather?
No, I wouldn't have got anything different. I would have got this spec. This is why it's so annoying because I love it so much. It's exactly what I would have got. But I can't get it because you've got it.
It is the exact spec I wanted as well. Like you said the other day, the monochrome, the black and the white. It's just
it looks amazing.
It pops, doesn't it? It looks so beautiful.
Or we just lean into that and we all get the same spec and we all get not same number plates, but
all the Ottr plates.
Can you imagine if we'll just become that video production company in England who everyone who works there has a Tesla?
That'd be sick. And we could turn up to shoots like, don't worry about them, that's just the Ottr boys. You just hear the electric motor saying,
or you don't hear it. Everyone's on salary sacrifice, but everyone has a fucking Tesla.
Wow, they must do well. Well, they actually don't. Because
Max is on the bread line, but he drives a Tesla.
Got a Tesla, but on food stamps.
Oh god. I guess we could jump into the finances, or if you are really interested, we break it down a lot better in the most recent Tesla vlog, which you can find on YouTube. Josh, do you think that's fair?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Probably. Just go check that out. We're not going to muddy you with all the numbers on just audio without, it helps to have the text on the screen with the pod to explain that. But all in all, to give you the short runnings of it, it's like a £540 a month lease, but through savings and tax efficiencies and stuff like that, you can bring it down to about £202 per month for a Tesla Model 3 long range.
Which is ridiculous.
That's less than a personal lease on like a
Corsa,
Ford Escort.
That's outrageous.
They still make Ford Escorts.
I have no idea, mate. Who cares at this point?
Yeah, true.
Is that And you can cut this if you need to, but is that a do you get money back? Do you have to pay £500 but then you get some money back?
Yeah.
Or do you...
So you pay the 540, you get 10% back as VAT every 3 months when you do your VAT claim back as a limited company. You then also at the end of the year get you'll save about 19% on corporation tax, because when you come to pay, you get to the end of the year and you've got like 10 grand in profit, but you spent another 4 grand on leasing that year. That brings your profit down by 4 grand.
Okay.
So you're going to pay, like, instead of paying like 19% on 10 grand, you'll pay 19% on 6 grand.
Right.
So you get the tax savings there. So whatever lease price or like car hire price you're going to do for a limited company, you can already bring the price down by like 29%.
That's mad.
Which is a high number.
Yeah.
It's insane, isn't it?
And then you got the benefit in kind thing, and it's just like, you know, if you got like a 30, we looked at it earlier. If you got like a G series Mercedes for like 36 grand on the road price, you'd have to spend 2 to 2.5 grand a year on paying benefit in kind tax back to the company.
Wow.
But on the Tesla, I pay £96 a year.
Wow.
Compared to 2.5 grand.
That's insane.
Yeah.
£96 a year. That's
It's roughly 5% of the cost of what it should be, and that's the main reason this whole thing is efficient. Because otherwise, everyone would just be leasing cars through companies.
Yeah.
But then you get fucked by the benefit in kind. But because on electric cars, there's no benefit in kind, it's like double unfuck.
Yeah.
the great thing about doing that as a business owner as well is you're just putting money back into your own company.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that £500 monthly payment isn't coming out of your pocket. That's coming out of the business.
Yeah. Which and that company pocket hasn't had tax or anything yet. You know, that's just like where all the invoices go. So it's like it's untouched, untaxed money.
Mm.
So it's a really efficient way of doing things.
Wow.
Do you see how it's fucking ridiculous now?
I love this because you've done all the research. So now when it comes to in X years' time where you know, Josh wants to get a car or whatever, we can just come to you and be like, how do you do it?
What do we do, Dad?
Yeah.
So what do we do? Numbers?
Yeah.
Well,
Well, let me break out your spreadsheets and I'll tell you. Finally!
The sick thing is, though, and it's like, I think the point you tried to reiterate in the vlog we did last week is, you know, this isn't a flexy thing. If anything, you're flexing the fact that you're saving money.
Yeah.
This makes so much financial sense.
Yeah.
It would be silly for you not to do it.
It's, if anything, it's flexy not to do it.
Yeah.
Because you're trying to flex how much money. Like, this is me saving money.
Yeah.
Hey, everyone, look at me. I'm saving money.
I'm saving money in a really glamorous way. And, like, I know
Yeah.
that sounds really backwards, but it's only because of the position I'm in and the position you guys are in like, a newer company who are thinking about these things. And I read in a business book years ago, it's like the second best way to make money is to save money.
Yeah.
And, like, cutting costs or, like, doing tax efficient ways. It's like you can charge through the roof, or you can just cut costs and things and make twice as much. It's so fucking true.
I think that's the thing that surprised me about all this and this whole process and everything is just that everything aligned. And it made complete sense. Because when you first brought up that, I'm going to look at a Tesla, it was all like, good one.
Yeah.
Good one, Tesla boy, CEO.
Yeah. How much are you fucking on, mate?
Yeah, literally. And then you broke it down and I was like, I might get one. Joss, you should get one too.
Yeah.
Sure.
Let's all get Teslas. Like, it's crazy how well it all worked out and how much sense it makes.
But when the time comes, you boys definitely fucking should. If it gets to that, you know, if we're thinking fucking hell, okay, let's review business in like 6 months' time. Let's fucking look at that. Let's look at that as an option. Let's see if what's advantageous. Because at the end of the day, especially for you, Max, the fucking commute.
It's a long.
You'd
commute.
save so much money.
Yeah, I would. I really would.
It's like, and you know, you think how much money I'm saving in fuel costs. You're probably going to save £250-300 a month.
Yeah,
You know,
probably.
that's astronomical.
Even when I think you said in a previous vlog, previous podcast, you're moving next year.
Yeah.
That's still like a fair commute for you, even from your new location. So
Yeah,
it's still going to
yeah.
be a pretty tasty saving for you.
Don't they
Yeah,
have to?
for sure.
Don't they have to build EV chargers in them as well, or near them?
I don't know, to be honest. I think it is definitely something that I want to look into, and I think once I've, as I said, established myself in the new place, and I know what the sort of situation is like there with getting chargers and things like that, because you're in a convenient place where you can have a charger, like you can charge at
In
home.
the garage, yeah.
If there was a facility there, then I think I would look more seriously into it, because as much as I love that little Audi, it costs a lot. But yeah, I think I'd just love to have an electric car.
Yeah. It's very attractive. And something that really surprised me when I did the research as well is the fact that I literally charged this. We've just described how fast and how much this thing accelerates and all the gadgets and things it can do. And I literally plug this in the same way I plug my phone in to charge it, in a 3-pin English socket, UK socket. And it's called a trickle charge because it adds about 2 kilowatts an hour. If you want to do it from 0 to 100% charge, it takes about 30 hours. And that's 360 miles. Look, I'm never going to do 360 miles in a day, or if I do, I'm going to plan it or use superchargers on the way. But, even when Amber's using this to commute to work and I'm doing things and all that good stuff, I'm never really going to do more. Even if I travel down to Sidmouth to see my parents in Devon, it's 110 miles away. So I could drive there and back and there again before I need to charge it. So all I do is put it on charge every night, which is what Tesla recommends you to do anyway. Reverse it into my garage, plug it into a 3-pin socket, and it adds about 35% in 12 hours. So get home, plug it in from 7 p.m, wake up, I can leave at 7 a.m, and I've added 120, 144 miles.
Wow.
And that's just on a standard plug. You don't even have to then install a special charger for that.
Yeah.
That is just a standard thing that you plug your kettle into.
It's not complicated.
No.
Electric charging isn't complicated. It doesn't take long to figure it out. Like the idea of just putting in a 3-pin, that's all you need to do.
Yeah.
And even if you want to get a faster charger, it's only going to cost you about £500
to get the Tesla.
Yeah, because the Tesla one's £500, and then to get it installed, you get grants for like 350 quid. So the Tesla one you get 350 off, or other brands are available. But you can get 350. I think the total cost for the charger and the installation is about 850.
Okay.
And then you get 350 knocked off that. So it works out £500, and you can then charge 40 miles an hour. Or you can do a full charge in like 8 hours from 0 to 100% if you do 360 miles on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No one fucking does that.
Yeah, you're driving a long way if you're doing that.
That's lorry driving status, mate. That's ridiculous.
That's almost as much as me.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're driving as much as Max, and you fucking do it. Yeah. But yeah, it's not complicated.
And I think also when we went to pick it up, because we picked it up and it didn't come with that much battery in it, and the first thing we did was go to a charger, and we weren't even there for that long. Like, those chargers charge quick.
30 minutes when it was like 28% up to like 80%.
And it was less than 30 minutes, surely.
I think it's like 20 minutes, 25.
It might be 20, yeah. It was very, very quick.
It's a coffee. It's a coffee and a loo break on a road trip.
Yeah.
And
stretch of the legs.
Yeah.
It's not that inconvenient. And you only have to do it when you're like, if you get the long range, you only have to do it if you're going more than 300 miles one way. And how often are you doing that?
Yeah.
That's like north of Liverpool.
Yeah.
You could probably get to fucking Scotland in that before you need to charge it.
And worst case scenario, it comes with plugs and stuff. So you just rock up at someone's house, go, "I'm sorry, love, I'll give you 10 quid. Can I have a 3-pin for
10 hours?
For 10 hours.
Can I stay here?
I'll sleep in the car. Don't worry.
What's for dinner? Yeah. That whole, I think you need to dispel that whole mystery of it's complicated. The world's not ready for it. It's like, and then people are like worried it's going to override the grid. It's like, look, if people need more electricity, more companies will sell electricity. Like if the demand is there for electric, companies will produce more electricity because it's a fucking profit game. And to think that the grid's not going to have enough, or like people aren't going to be, or like companies aren't going to be able to produce enough, it's fucking bollocks. They'll produce enough. They'll burn more coal, they'll burn more fossil fuels or renewable energies, whatever they want to do, and just put it into the system.
If it makes money, they'll do it.
Literally, because there's money, people are going to do it. So you don't need to worry about that. Just try and get it from a renewable source. Whoever you or electric's with, try and have renewable energies, especially if you drive electric.
That's the funny thing, and I think that's people's biggest excuse, and it's the biggest one that I've heard. It's like, oh, the infrastructure isn't there. Yeah, it is. There are 3-pin plugs everywhere.
Yeah.
There are public chargers now in pretty much every service station. Especially with Tesla, there are superchargers everywhere. There's over 100,000 in the world now. You can basically go anywhere. Like, if you're going somewhere where you can't charge on when you've got a full battery, well, you probably shouldn't be going there anyway.
Yeah, going off the grid. I think it's this is a topic I wanted to bring up, actually. I think it is, for me, for example, I think it's a knowledge thing for a lot of people as well, because until you broke down the financing and broke down how you were going to do it, when you said you were going to get a Tesla, I was like, ha ha ha. Like, because my only knowledge of Tesla is Model S and Model X, which are, starting at sort of between sort of 80 and 100 grand.
Mm-hmm.
So instantly when someone's like, oh, why don't you look at a Tesla? I'm like, there's not a chance in hell that I could afford one of those.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a chance in hell I could get one of those. And again, when you're like, oh, you only get this much range, instantly people are like, oh, well, my car can get 500 miles or 450 miles or something like that, which means my car's better. And I can fill up wherever. But the knowledge of the different ways that you can charge it, the different locations that you can charge it in, and also the tax benefits and stuff like that, which actually make out that it's cheaper. I think that because they're not widely adopted yet, in terms of the majority of people having electric cars, there is still a knowledge barrier which is stopping a lot of people from diving into it, because a lot of people wouldn't do the amount of research that you did.
Do you not think?
I think you were very passionate about it, and also you're in an office where we talk about it quite a lot, and everyone's interested in it. But I feel like
you guys would do that sort of research, though, wouldn't you? If it was on the plate.
Yeah, but we enjoy this kind of thing as well.
Oh, I
see.
see.
You get people like, Doris, who's looking to get a new car, isn't gonna do 13 hours of watching Car Wow to try and figure out how to charge their car for less.
Yeah. No, you're right. And it's the whole change concept, isn't it?
Yeah,
like,
100%.
I don't want to have to deal with the idea of change.
Yeah,
but change can be so fucking good.
Yeah,
and there's, funnily enough, lots of trends in history where the early adopters of change are often better off.
Funny that.
Come on, Josh. That's a nice.
I saw that in a video once.
That's a nice bit of trivia, mate.
There you go. It's true though, isn't it?
Yeah.
You adopt something early, you're gonna reap the benefits.
Yeah.
Crypto, internet bubbles, Amazon, Teslas.
What has the reaction been? This is a question that I wanted to get from you, and I don't know if we can have this in, but
go on.
What has the reaction been like from other people that you've seen? Because I know a lot of people have a lot to say on why you shouldn't get a Tesla, or why their fuel guzzling car is better. Like, have you had a positive reaction from people, or do you find you get more attention? Do you find that you're more self-conscious when you're driving it around, or?
No, I think when I first drove it home that day, Amber said that a lot of people looked at me.
Yeah.
But maybe that's because it's a cool looking car.
And it was very clean.
Yeah, because it was brand new. It was just shiny. It was like a mirror on the motorway, wasn't it? Yeah. There have been like friends of Amber's who have said like, Teslas are like, they're shit or whatever, and they've described them. It's just like, it just comes down to what you said, Max, about it's lack of knowledge.
Yeah.
And people just don't like what they don't understand.
100%.
And I think that's where it comes to. And like, one of Amber's friends was shitting on it for ages, then found out me and Amber were getting one, and he then stopped saying stuff. And now he's kind of asked me for a breakdown of costs and how I did it. And it's just one of those things. I think, like, I can understand why people think like Teslas are maybe only for rich people or only for people who have fucking money to burn. And it's like, that's not the fucking case. It's a misconception. It's been something that's been like drilled down to you by some idiot at the pub about how these things are only for people making fucking bank, and that's not the case. I'm on a 20% salary bracket. I'm nowhere near the next salary bracket, and I can easily afford something like this. It's just like, you don't have to be fucking really good. You don't have to be making loads of money. You just have to be aware on how to save money.
Yeah. I think that's a good way of putting it.
Yeah, that's a brilliant way to put it, mate.
Thanks. That should be like the slogan of the podcast.
Yeah.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Ben Lawton's Money Saving Tips. I'm joined with my co-financial dependents. That means you're my children, doesn't it?
I'm joined by my tax write-offs, Max and Josh.
I think that's such a good way to put it, though, and it's what you said. People don't like what they don't understand, and again, I can't remember what video I saw this in. It might have been like a finance one, but it's like people latch on to things when they hear something negative about a topic. So like the conception of, electric car, yeah, but you can't get very far, can you? That's what I've heard from like members of my family, for example.
Yeah. They'll break down.
Yeah, or like, they're not reliable, it's hard to charge them up, whatever. It's like, well, and that's easy for people to say because they might have heard this thing here or read this article here, and it's like, that's all well and good, but if you do the actual research and you actually get an understanding for yourself about it, then you'll soon see that that's not the case. And that's just the same with many things, like you said, Ben, crypto, NFTs, all those different worlds that the wide majority of people don't understand. But if you just do that little bit
Because
of
they don't want to.
Yeah, exactly. And it's very easy to have an opinion about something when you don't understand it.
It's just like, look at all the benefits of an electric car. The one downside of getting it is you have to be more organised on charging and you have to do some research. But look at all the pros you get just for doing that. It's like, why is that not worth it? Why shouldn't you do that?
And I also think that if you skip to our reactions in the YouTube video, that in itself is enough, I think, to put some people on to at least going and test driving it. And I promise you, if you're listening to this podcast or watching the video or whatever, and you're on the fence about whether to go and test drive an electric car, don't do it, because if you go and test drive it, you will want to buy it 100%.
Yeah.
So if you have people in your life that are like, oh, you shouldn't do this, putting you off electric cars, I would say don't go and test drive one, because you will end up buying one.
Test drive one. Do the maths first.
Yeah.
You know, if you're in a company that's willing to do it for you, brilliant. If you're a director of a company, even better. But you are literally going to dangle the biggest golden fucking carrot in front of your face that you could imagine, because it is like, it's a whole new world driving shit like this. And it tastes like future, doesn't it?
Yeah.
This is the future.
Yeah.
And like, you know, when we all have kids and they grow up, this is the shit they'll learn to drive in. This is the shit they'll drive. This is the shit they'll teach their kids in. Like, combustion engines and a gearbox won't exist anymore.
My God, imagine putting your 17-year-old son in a
In a
Model 3 that takes off in 2 seconds and being like, oh, can you go to the shop to get some milk, please?
All right, now parallel park.
Straight through.
Yeah.
I can't wait to show my kids the picture of my 2009 Polo that I had as my first car, while they absolutely destroy me off
Where
the line.
did you plug that in, Dad? No, kids. This thing drank fuel. Petroleum.
This thing drank fuel that destroyed the atmosphere on the planet.
Son, I had to put my phone in a certain position in the car so that the cabling would work, so I could listen to music.
Yeah. And then queue to fill it up.
Yeah. I had to put USB, not even USB, I had to burn songs onto a CD.
Oh
my
God, mate. Yeah.
I feel like that's already ancient.
Happening, yeah.
Like, you tell that to a 10-year-old now, they're going to be like, what?
Yeah, that makes me
Why
feel
are you
so
burning
old.
a
I'm
CD?
not even old.
Yeah.
Burning a CD. Anyway.
All right.
Is there anything more on the Tesla? I think we've
covered it, boys.
all covered. Okay, here's what are you boys going to rate the car out of 10? Honest answers.
Go on, Joss.
Oh, shall I go first? I've driven it.
Go for it.
I'm going to give it a 9.
What's lacking?
I think a heads-up display would be better rather than looking down to your left to look at your speed. So something on the windscreen.
Mm-hmm.
That was something I wanted to ask you, actually, if there was anything you didn't like about it.
I think a heads-up display would be really good. I think the navigation system could be a bit more like Apple Maps and have the blue. It has the blue line, but it doesn't make it linear, so you're always facing the same direction. Like Apple Maps, you're always facing forward, but on this, it's like a bird's eye view of the map. And sometimes it's like your car's looking down, and you need to turn left, but it feels like you need to turn right.
Yeah,
and it's really odd. Apart from that, I'm just being a bit fucking nitpicky, to be honest. But no, it's a wonderful car. Maybe a 9.5, to be fair. But heads-up display would make it a 10. Heads-up display would make it the perfect car, and that's a statement. That's why I can't give it a 10.
I can't really speak on that because I've never used a heads-up display.
Yeah,
but I can imagine that.
I mean, I haven't either. But like having something here where you can look at your speed, it's just safer.
Yeah.
Maxi boy. Oh,
go on, son. Go
on. I will give it a safe 8 purely because obviously we're not insured to drive it, so I don't know what it's like to drive. I can tell that
the time will come, boys. Don't worry.
I can tell that it's going to be absolutely ludicrous, and being in the passenger seat is more than enough speed for anyone. But it's just gorgeous. I'm sure that driving it would take it up to a 10 for me. Max?
I think you get to the point where you'd agree on the heads-up display.
Yeah.
But possibly, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to side with... Well, I think I'm going to go in the middle and say give it a 9. Again, I haven't driven it, so I don't know what it's like. I would put my salary that I'd love to drive it.
I'd put my salary on that too.
My salary that I'd love driving it. But I think, as I said, when I got in it for the first time, I've never been in an interior, in a cockpit that is so clean and minimal and luxurious, but it's not overly. You get into an S-Class Mercedes,
Yeah.
it's luxury.
Yeah.
This is luxurious, but in a very understated,
Yes.
not a shouty way.
Not show
And
off.
I much prefer that.
Me too.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get in a Mercedes and you think, I'd hope people on the outside don't see how luxurious this is because it's going to make me uncomfortable.
Yeah. Whereas this is just subtly cool.
Yeah.
And I can pull up next to an RS4 and destroy it off the line
By accident. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just because you're late for dinner.
Yeah.
Cool. Right, so that's an overarching high score.
Yeah, well done, Tesla.
Well done, Tesla.
There
Thank
we
you.
go.
Thank you for sending it our way, Elon, and I hope you've enjoyed our review. Send us the Model S next, or the Model X. That would be good.
Send a couple more out as well so we can have a drag race.
Legally.
Yeah,
How fast
And
can we
keep
go
them.
through KFC drive-through?
at 30 miles an hour.
Well, that's the answer.
How fast can we all get up to 30 miles an hour?
From 25.
Through a KFC drive-thru.
All right, over and out.
See you later. Thank you for listening. Make sure to subscribe, follow, like, all that good stuff. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Goodbye.